Yeah, I mean, I think that like that's the obvious. Like, it seems like as you're starting to move into new deals, like having the commerce tie-in and the Feastables tie-in is like, yeah, it obviously makes sense.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh wait, is the camera over there? There we go.
That's
Sorry.
your camera.
My bad.
Yeah.
I wasn't even in frame. I'm bad at this.
So can you tell us what the prize is? You tease that. No.
Okay.
No. But it's the largest prize.
It's the largest cash prize in history. Yeah.
Yeah.
My hope for the show, outside of it being the largest cash prize, outside of it having the most amount of people, is that it still feels very YouTube.
Oh, it will.
Having just watched your Abandoned video, 7 days,
Yeah.
there's a clip where you're flying a drone and you fly it and you land it right next to a cat.
Yeah.
Mark Rober's there as well. Like, my hope is that it's this really massive show at a crazy scale, but we still have cameos from creators at times. And it still feels at times like YouTubery in a way that, like,
100%.
When does the host of a show ever fly a drone and then you watch the feed of what it actually looks like? You know, like, I want it to feel still like connected to you and doing some things that you would only expect to see on YouTube.
Well, it's funny you saying that because it feels like some high level thing, but I literally was just like, that's a cat. And I just grabbed a drone.
Totally. Yeah, there's nothing like super strategic about that.
Exactly. Especially that one, because you could argue that was very drawn out, but I was just like, it's funny. A cat walked up to the drone. Agreed. I mean, same thing. But the thing is it's just me and the boys are just naturally a little stupid and silly. And so, yeah, on set, we're just going to be doing dumb things the whole time. And then since there's always a camera on, you know, well, the editors will be like, wow, that was funny. And put it in.
I mean, even just being at some main channel shoots today with you, like Chandler and Nolan were just actually making each other laugh.
Yeah.
And then it was being caught on camera and it was making me laugh too, just sitting there. And I was like, this is like the beauty of YouTube. And I really do hope it translates. I will say the other thing is that as we were talking about this interview, Colin and I were like, is Jimmy still a YouTuber? Like being on the, the cover of Time magazine, like where you're now, ending up and now having an Amazon streaming show. It's hard to wrap our heads around you being a YouTuber. And we were having this conversation with some of your team.
Yeah.
And then they showed us this picture.
Oh gosh.
Okay. This is you recording voiceover.
Yep.
With mattresses, like a makeshift VO booth.
Yeah.
For your most recent video. And I was like, this is YouTube.
Of course.
And that was one of your best performing, the VO ended up in one of your best performing videos.
I mean, that's top 10 most viewed YouTube videos, 24 hours in history, not music.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, agreed. He's referencing, so I spent 7 days on a deserted island. Right after I finished, I had to do VO, but I couldn't go to a booth or anything. So we just set up a booth in a random hotel room on a random island. And I had to crank it out so we could quickly throw it in before the video went up. I mean, I still film, some months 25 days out of the month. And then the 5 days I'm not filming, I still got to do voiceovers and all this other stuff. So,
but this
I'm about as YouTuber as it gets.
Yeah, I know.
I'm more of a YouTube, spend more time filming than probably any other YouTuber on the planet.
And this setup is like DIY. And it's like one of the most like you just said, one of the most watched videos on the platform. And it's like traditional media can't like comprehend that, right? Like that VO can just be recorded on the go and it's like, just makes it into
we literally just took all the blankets and pillows and put it up and just had this little microphone, threw it in there. Because if not, we wouldn't have uploaded. So, you got to do what you got to do.
When we talk about scale, Prime Video has like 220 million subscribers.
Okay. It seems low. I think it had more.
Does it have more?
I thought it was closer to 300.
Okay. So around, let's say 300 million then.
Yeah.
That's still, your most viewed video is, 580.
Yeah.
Do you, like when you think about like, scale, what do you think about when it comes to like going on a streaming platform where the ceiling is actually potentially lower than it is on YouTube, right?
Well, that's one of the beauties of Amazon is a lot of people do have Amazon Prime. And what's interesting is like, you could say the same thing about Squid Game, right? Like probably back then only 200 million people had Netflix accounts, but somehow everyone on the planet watched Squid Game. You know what I mean? So a lot of people, a lot of households have one account. So a lot of people go watch it with their friends or whatever. So it's like, for the most part, that applies to most shows, but like the shows that really do well and crush, for some reason, they somehow manage to just kind of transcend that barrier a little bit. Obviously, it happens a little more on Netflix than it does other platforms, but more people know about The Boys than like actively probably watch shows on Amazon Video, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's I'm hoping I can get to that point where it's, I don't know, people just find a way to watch it. Like
that's an interesting
it's a great
point.
show, they just do,
Yeah, because essentially you can think about it as like if someone has a Prime Video account, there might be 4 people in the household.
Exactly.
Right. So,
and obviously a lot of people sign up for Prime too. So, which would be great because then season 2, I could have a bigger budget and go even crazier.
Is it all going to be dropped at once, all 10 episodes, or it's not weekly, is it?
That I'll be honest, I haven't put any thought into it. I've put thought into is like, how do I make this the greatest show ever? I haven't even thought of that.
What would you prefer? Or what do you prefer as a viewer? Do you
honestly,
like to binge?
At some point, I'll probably look at the data and just kind of do whatever the data says people like. I don't know if people like the anticipation of waiting and talking about it, especially contestant-based stuff and theorizing. Yeah. So I will want whatever makes the best experience. Best experience for the viewers. So I don't know. I can tell you that on YouTube, back of my head. And like streaming services, I'm not even gonna I am a toddler in the streaming world. And like I've spent a ton of time watching every game show and studying content. But the actual back-end application and like all that other stuff, weekly drops all at once, I know nothing and I'm not even gonna act like I know anything. And so at some point I'll go deep dive, pull all the data. Amazon will probably give me, anything I want and help me with that and then figure it out. But right now, because we got to shoot in a couple of months, we had to make sure we have, just the perfect, greatest, most insane episodes ever with that
concepts.
And then now we're starting to bring them to life. And it's it's also one thing to write episode that you're going to spend $10 million on and build 20 just ginormous, massive sets and all these inner workings and, just to think of it and even just, but then to actually build it, it's just a whole different animal. And so we got to start that process now because we're going to fail a lot. Again, it's every episode is going to be our biggest YouTube video ever. So it's
and you can't really adjust in real time like you can on YouTube.
Yeah.
Video to video on YouTube, you could probably make some pretty drastic changes.
Oh no, we will. Just in the sense of this is what we do. Nothing ever turns out how you want. And the thing is, something can always be better. It literally can't. An episode, you can never write an episode and say, this is factually perfect. So even the day before, you're going to be looking at the sets and be like, actually, this could look better this way, or we could tweak this, or actually, if the lighting was there, that would hit this vibe. All the way up into the literal millisecond of filming, we're going to be optimizing and making it look better and blah, blah, blah. Because the thing is, it's never something you film is never okay, it's now perfect. It's just, it's close enough to perfect where I don't care to spend more time fixing it, right? It's this, but it can always be better. It's
But once the 10 are locked, they're locked, right? And they just start coming out.
Once they're filmed,
if you start to understand some data about how people perceive episode 1, episode 2.
Oh yeah, that stuff, 100%. Exactly.
There's nothing you can do if it's in episodes 3, 4,
of course,
5.
Especially because it's unscripted. I mean, whatever happens. I can't change it. Yeah.
Is there any on the streaming show, on the Amazon shows?
I love how you keep bringing it back. To that.
Well, I'm very curious about it. It's such a new thing.
Yeah,
and maybe it doesn't feel as new to you, but if you
I've been in the weeds on this project for so long.
But if you zoom out, it's a really big deal. It really is. And again, as
factually and metaphorically.
Factually, it is the biggest deal in our space, but metaphorically, it's a big deal. I think to us, because we've been on YouTube for so long and fascinated by this space for so long, and this convergence event feels like it hasn't happened.
It feels like
yet.
a bigger deal to other people than me because a lot of creators have always been saw YouTube as a launch pad to stuff like this.
Yeah.
Whereas for me, if I never did a streaming show, I'd be all right, business as usual. For the last 14 years, I just want to be the biggest YouTuber in the world. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So maybe that's why it doesn't, people keep saying that. Everyone's they're just so emotional over the show. And they're like, dude, this is such a big deal. And I'm like, I literally make mini movies every 2 weeks. I've been doing this for years now.
It's
funny that I was expecting, but I thought we were going to come here and every employee, everyone was going to be like, Amazon. It's Amazon week. This is the Amazon week. And then you realize everyone's focused on today, tomorrow, the day after.
And the next 2 weeks.
Tomorrow,
you have a lot of shoots over the next 2 weeks for main channel.
But that's where, if an Amazon's employee watching, though, don't you worry. I'm all in. I'm going to make this the greatest show you've ever had. I'm putting every ounce of brain power we have, and it will be phenomenal. So don't worry. I got you. And I am very bullish. I do think it's going to be a big part of our future. But,
I know Samir asked, do you see yourself as a YouTuber? And I think about that of everyone's always thought of you as a YouTuber and probably still does.
Yeah.
But 10 years from now, when you've got Feastables, I wonder, do people think, oh, Mr. Beast, he's the chocolate guy? Or do people think, let's say the Amazon show goes really well and you launch an entire studio of unscripted television, streaming, whatever. do people think, oh, that's more of like kind of a Hollywood style?
I'm always going to be a YouTuber first. I love this platform. This platform is what made me who I am, and this is my number one focus, and it always will be. Because at the end of the day, like, you know, anything behind a paywall just will never be as big as something free like YouTube. Like, I hope to keep our viewership growing, and just I'm all in on YouTube. So, like, there's YouTube, everything else below it, and nothing else will ever be more important to me than YouTube. Like, because that's what got me here, and I'm not letting up now. I'm all in. I don't even care if the platform starts dying. I'm a YouTuber till death. Like that's the thing I always want to keep as my North Star, because like that just stupid obsession of that is what got me here, and I do believe it will keep taking me to other places.
Here's my question: the majority of all of the space that you have here is dedicated to YouTube for the most part.
Yeah.
Where are you going to shoot the show? Like where?
The problem is if I said it would give away things, and also people would camp out there. But it'll make sense when you see it. It's a monster of a project. It's a lot of people. So yeah, it's gonna. We haven't even got to spend too much time together because we've been working so much. But our studio over there, the other campus, we're building an expansion on the back.
Yeah.
It's 2 times bigger. So that won't be done in time for this, but when we do season 2, I will have a lot of space.
And is that in mind? I mean, we saw the mock-ups of it.
Are you announcing season 2?
Well, I mean, that's assuming season 1 does well. If season 1 doesn't do well, then I'm just gonna, cry and hope no one ever remembers it.
Yeah, I mean, we saw the mock-ups of the new studio.
Yeah, well, but that's mostly for the videos. So obviously, I mean, I've said this before, but our biggest bottleneck is space, because like ages 1 through 100, those 100 cubes that took up 40,000 square feet, like almost all over our studio. And so it's just like, if I want to upload more, and like, we're trying to get to the point where we eventually upload 3 videos a month. And, if I can find the time and not go insane, 4 videos a month weekly, that's my end goal. But that would be hard because I film on average like 6-7 days a video. So that would mean I'm literally filming every single day I'm awake.
Right.
So I don't know if we'll ever take it that far, but even then, let's say we need to work on 6 videos. I've told you this before, and 1 video takes up the entire studio space, which is, because our sets are so big and we go so all out when building these things. Like these are monster projects, and they take months and months to build everything and make it look good. It's like, well, then how do you work on the other 5? Which then results in us having to do things like go film $1 versus $1 million hotel room and other stuff like that, because we can't film local because like a single video took up our whole studio space. And like,
got it.
To me, the answer isn't make the video smaller. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
So that's like been a problem. And so that's why we're building more space, so I can like do 2 or 3 really, really big, epic set build spectacles, which I really love doing. And it's really fun because you can be super creative, and I like just seeing the vision come to life at the same time.
Yeah.
So,
and when you build this, from what we've heard, it'll be the largest soundstage in North America.
Well, to be totally transparent, I've never looked up the database of the largest sound stages, but I've had multiple people that I do trust that they say that.
Yeah.
So take it with a grain of salt, because I don't know.
Yeah.
But people are telling me it will be. I'm just like, this is what I need to make my videos, because my videos are getting so big.
Right.
And they're like, Jimmy, this is larger than anyone else has. I'm like, okay, I don't care. I need it. Like, can we start building? You know what I mean? So that's kind of how these conversations keep going.
Yeah. It is interesting that there was a time where when we first came here, this was the only space.
Yeah.
This was like the main space that we're in right now.
This is what we would call just, Studio A. It's, 10,000 square feet. We used to film all our videos here, but
yeah, you see all the names written up. Like that's from a video.
Yeah, there's a lot of history here. I haven't been here in a bit, and when I walked in, I was like, oh man.
I mean, even I felt that, because when we walked in here 2 years ago, like all your play buttons were on the staircase. You remember that?
Yeah.
And like walking around here, I was like, that's crazy that
we thought this was huge.
We were like, this is crazy that a YouTuber has like a warehouse space they shoot everything in.
Yeah.
But now it seems like you don't have much space. Like even the shoots that we went to today weren't inside studios. I mean, one of them is happening inside a studio. The other ones are happening. And then also the other ones are happening that need like, you need like 3 months to finish those videos.
Exactly. Well, he's talking about the survive 100 days in a bunker, win $500,000. Again, that's why I have a hazmat suit on.
Yeah.
But they're gonna think I hate them. I'm selfishly covering Prime because I want to promote my brand, but not because I don't like Prime. To be clear. Logan's gonna be like, what the heck?
Last time we spoke with you, you said something interesting about your brand deals. You said that like your viewership is getting to a point where it's exceeding marketers' budgets.
Yeah.
Like they can't really afford.
Oh, that is a massive problem. Yeah.
And when I hear you say that some of your videos take like $3-4 million, the cost of the video seems like it keeps going up.
Yeah.
I know you have Feastables, but how do the economics make sense?
Well, luckily, as I spend more, the views go up as well. So that seems to help. I'd have to look at the data. It's been a little while, but I'm pretty sure we're doing over 200 million views. We're doing, I think in the first 30 days, the average video right now does 140 million views in the first 30. And then the first year, I think it does like 220. So it's just like, name one other avenue in the entire world right now where you could reach 220 million people. Literally.
Yeah.
It's not possible. It's literally the only way to reach that amount of people. Even, you could do the Super Bowl, but, which also works very well if you want to target Americans. The beauty of us too is we're literally all over the world. So like you can like factually get something in front of literal percentage points of the human population when you sponsor one of my videos. So like people who really want a global presence, it's like perfect. You know what I mean? It's just worth a lot of money to them.
So advertising is making more sense.
It's definitely going up. Yeah. It's like the thing is basically my brand deals for the videos are just basically go up as like overall the world realizes YouTubers are valuable and their marketing budgets go up because it's just basically, 2024, we're going to allocate more to spending on YouTube videos, which means